Another day, another video of first aid by. Can stress cause a fever? Made simple. What you need to know. First aid by. The idea that stress can cause a fever is an intriguing one, as it suggests that there may be a connection between our mental and physical health. In this video, we will look at the evidence for this connection and explore how stress might be linked to fever. Stress itself cannot directly cause a fever. Fever is usually a response to an infection or inflammation, triggered by the immune system to fight off pathogens or heal injuries. However, stress is a common cause of physical and mental distress, and it can have a significant impact on a person's overall health and well-being. However, while stress can cause a wide range of physical and mental symptoms, it is not typically associated with a fever. A fever is usually a sign of an underlying infection or illness, and while stress can impact a person's immune system, it is not likely to cause a fever on its own. If a person is experiencing a fever, it is important to speak to a doctor to determine the cause. Moreover, stress can be a contributing factor to a fever. When a person is under excessive amounts of stress, their body produces hormones and chemicals that can trigger an inflammatory response. This can lead to a fever, as inflammation is one of the body's responses to a virus or infection. Additionally, prolonged periods of stress can weaken the immune system, leaving the body more susceptible to illnesses and infections that can cause a fever. Therefore, it is important to take steps to reduce stress to maintain overall health and reduce the risk of a fever. Therefore, stress is a powerful force that can have a significant impact on physical health. Prolonged periods of stress can weaken the immune system, making a person more vulnerable to illnesses such as colds and flu. In some cases, it can even lead to more serious illnesses such as fever. Stress can cause the body to release cortisol and other hormones that can increase body temperature, leading to a fever. Additionally, stress can cause a person to neglect basic health needs, such as proper nutrition and adequate rest, making them more susceptible to infection and fever. Therefore, it is important to recognize the signs of stress and take steps to manage it in order to maintain optimal health. Sure. Here's some additional information on stress and its effects on the body. Stress is a natural response to challenging situations, and in small amounts, it can be beneficial. Short-term stress can help you stay alert and focused, and it can even boost your immune system temporarily. However, chronic stress can have negative effects on your physical and mental health. When you experience stress, stress can have a significant impact on your health, and one of the potential side effects is a fever. When you experience stress, your body releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which can cause your body temperature to increase. A fever as a result of stress is usually mild and typically doesn't require medical attention. However, if your fever persists or is accompanied by other symptoms, such as a rash, you should see a doctor. Additionally, you should seek medical attention if your fever is high or lasts for more than a few days. To reduce the risk of developing a fever due to stress, it's important to practice healthy coping strategies and take steps to reduce and manage stress. While this response can be helpful in the short term, while it is true that stress can be a helpful response in the short term, it can also have more serious repercussions in the long term. Stress can cause a fever, as the body reacts to the stress and releases certain hormones that can cause an elevation in body temperature. Stress can also weaken the immune system and make it more susceptible to other illnesses. Therefore, it is important to manage your stress levels in order to maintain good health and avoid potential health risks. In addition to physical effects, stress can have a profound impact on our physical and emotional health, with symptoms ranging from muscle tension to headache and fatigue. In addition to these physical effects, stress can also cause a fever. This is because stress triggers a surge of adrenaline and other hormones that can cause an increase in body temperature. A fever caused by stress is often a sign of an underlying health condition, such as an infection or an autoimmune disorder. If you experience a fever and suspect it is a result of stress, it is important to seek medical advice. To manage stress effectively, it is very important to manage stress effectively in order to maintain good physical and mental health. Stress can cause a variety of physical and mental health problems, including a fever. Stress can cause an increase in hormones such as cortisol, which can lead to an increase in body temperature, resulting in a fever. In addition to a fever, stress can also lead to headaches, fatigue, and even chest pain. It is important to recognize the signs and symptoms of stress and take steps to manage it in order to prevent and reduce the risk of developing a fever. This can include taking time out to relax and practice mindfulness, exercising regularly, and getting plenty of sleep. Additionally, speaking to a doctor or mental health professional can help to identify and manage the root cause of stress. How to tell if stress is causing your fever. If you have a fever and you're wondering if stress is the cause, there are a few clues to look out for. First, pay attention to the timing. If your fever came on suddenly after a period of stress or anxiety, that could be a sign that stress is the culprit. Additionally, if your fever is accompanied by other symptoms of stress, such as fatigue, headaches, or insomnia, that's a strong indication that your fever is stress-related. Lastly, if your fever persists for more than a few days without any other obvious cause, it may be worth considering the possibility that stress is causing your fever. If you suspect that your fever is stress-related, it's important to take steps to reduce the stress in your life as soon as possible. How stress can cause a fever. Stress can have a significant effect on the body and can ultimately lead to a fever. When we experience stress, it activates the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal (HPA) axis, which is a major stress response system in the body. This system causes the release of hormones such as cortisol, which can impact the body's immune system and lead to an increase in body temperature. This can result in a fever, which is a sign that the body is fighting off an infection or other illnesses. Additionally, stress can weaken the immune system, making it more likely that a person will get sick and potentially develop a fever. In summary, stress can cause a fever and is a risk factor for developing a fever. In conclusion, while stress itself cannot cause a fever, it can indirectly lead to a fever if it weakens the immune system or causes an underlying health condition. Therefore, it is important to manage stress levels to reduce the risk of developing a fever. Thanks for watching.